Today is Friday, December the 6th, and this is episode 20 of the Queen City Yarn Dying to Knit podcast. My name is Kristen, and this is a podcast about knitting, mostly knitting. Also, I talk about hand-dyed yarn because I'm a dyer with Queen City Yarn. And also there's sometimes some spinning, some crochet. There'll be some crochet today, which I'm super excited to share with you. Some weaving, I don't know, pretty much just this podcast is about my adventures in making things with fiber, with wool. So thank you so much for joining me today. If today is your first time you're watching, thanks so much for checking me out. If you like it, the podcast, please do subscribe. And if you like the episode, hit like. I know that helps other people find my podcast. And if you're back for more, thanks so much for coming back to hang out with me some and hear about all the things that I've been working on. Let's see. You can find out about me and see my projects on Ravelry. My Ravelry name is Kristen, Christen, and you can also find me on Instagram as Kristen C. I also post for Queen City Yarn Instagram, and we have a podcast group called Queen City Yarn on Ravelry. It's not a super active group, but I do post there when I upload a new episode, and we talk about new patterns that are designed for Queen City Yarn. And yeah, I've been showing my ornaments there, which I've been making. Have you been making ornaments this year? My tree is full. Stay tuned to the end of the episode because I'm going to go downstairs and take some video of my pencil tree that is completely full of handmade ornaments. I am so excited about it. My husband helped me measure for the tree so we got the right size because when we got... Funny story. When we moved into this house, our tree that we had previously was too small because it was from like our apartment, before kids, before space, and all these kinds of things. So we had a very small tree. So we used that one outside on like the upper porch level, and then we got a new tree. And I ordered a too big tree the first time, but we didn't know it was too big until after we put it together. And we fluffed as we went. It was glorious. It was just beautifully fluffed artificial tree. And we went to put the top on, and my husband was like, it's not gonna fit, it's not gonna fit. And I was like, it's totally gonna fit. I know it's gonna fit. Put it on there. And it was like bent over at the top. I think maybe by next year he'll be able to laugh about it. This year he chuckled. The last couple years he was still like, that was a lot of work for putting it back in the box. So we put our regular tree up and decorated that with the kids, and that was a lot of fun. But this year we added a pencil tree for all of my handmade ornaments, and I'm super duper excited about it. Every time I walk by it, it brings me so much joy, and I've just really enjoyed making that ornament. So stay tuned to the end of the episode because I'm going to add in some video that shows off that tree some. So, okay, today I'm going to talk about some finished objects. I'm going to show some works in progress, mostly socks, some crochet, and a sweater, a shawl. So there's lots of fun things. I'll start by showing a finished object while we're talking about ornaments. I'll show my December ornament that I made for the tree. This is a pair of red mittens. They have thumbs. You can't see them because of the way they were hanging. So this was inspired by my pop-up mittens pattern. I had made just one mitten that was smaller than this, and it looked super cute on the tree, but I really wanted a pair of mittens, and I connected them. I just actually braided the yarn ends together and then tied it down on one. So it just hangs over the branch, and this is my last ornament knit for the year. And yeah, so I'm really excited. I wanted to show these off. And there's just a couple more finished objects. One thing I do want to show are these. which I did not make these, but last night I hosted a knit night. It's been so long since I hosted one, and it was really nice. Not everyone was able to come, but one person that came, my friend Jan Smiley, who puts on the Carolina Fiber Frolic retreat that I just went to in November, she came. She was actually in town this time, and she brought me a hostess gift, which is so pretty. These are like coasters or mug rugs, and they're woven. She wove them on a rigid heddle loom, and they are just absolutely beautiful. There's a set of 4, and they look awesome in my living room because I have a blue carpet in there, and a lot of the like little stuff we have sitting around, knickknacks or whatnot, decoration stuff is blue. So they look really good in there on our tables. Way better than I had crocheted years ago, some just brown circle ones, and our tables are brown. So they weren't like, look at me, I'm a handmade awesome thing. They were just like, put your cup on me so I don't sweat on the table. So these look really good down there. So the other ones have just been put in a drawer for if we need more than places for 4 drinks. And as of now, I have these gorgeous ones out. Except for right now, because I brought them to show you. Oh, I have coffee today in my Jenny the Potter mug. This is one that my friend Janice got me. It's got a cute skiing bear. And there's all kinds of trees with stars. I really like this one. I mean, I really like all of them. Let's be honest. If I didn't have to wash them each one, then I'd drink enough cups of coffee. I could probably drink a cup of coffee on each one every day. Okay, so anyway, this next thing I'm going to show you is really exciting because this is the last hand knit gift of 2019. I am so excited to be done with hand knit gifts. Like, over the moon excited. I can't wait to show you all the projects I'm working on now that are all for me. Like, it's amazing. This one still needs to be blocked. And this is just a beanie for my niece, Adeline. And I used Queen City Yarn colorway, Calories Don't Count on Your Birthday. And I think it turned out really pretty. I think she's going to like it. It's still like gray. She's a teenager. So it's still like gray, but it has some really pretty like purples and blues in there. And this is the pom-pom. My daughter had a friend over. I finished this, I think on Thanksgiving I finished it. My daughter had a friend over, and we were watching Home Alone. And so I came upstairs and picked all the pom-poms that I thought would match the hat. And I put them on the ottoman, and I told the girls, okay, if you were going to wear this hat, what pom-pom would you want on it? And both of them chose this one. And I think it looks really good. I think it's really fun. And it's one of these pom-poms that has just like the strings on it. So I'm going to loop it through and tie it. That way if she doesn't want the pom-pom, she can take it off. And it could just be a slouchy hat. This, I didn't follow a pattern. I did it's a DK weight. So I kind of used my numbers that I usually use for that. And then I did a 5-point kind of star decrease, which I think turned out really pretty. It's a broken rib pattern, so that it's kind of slouchy, but then it's still ribby. So anyway, and it looks cool on the inside too. Although because of the woven in yarn ends, I don't think I'd wear it that way. But anyway, so that one's done. I just have to block it. But all the Christmas knitting is done. And then I have one more hat to show you. This one I showed last time. This is a cabled hat. I haven't named it yet. This is of my own design. I'm really, really excited about it. There's a little bit of broken rib here in between the cables. And the cables, I worked so hard on these. I must have charted a million cables, I swear. I could just have a whole book of cables that I charted out of this. But they kind of look folded in the edges, and I really wanted that. Looks kind of like ribbon. So I'm really super excited about how this turned out. I picked this really fun pom-pom because this color, actually is the color of the yarn, but it's got so much fun color to it. Because I could have put like a gray or a black on there. This one also would have looked really good on there, but It was picked for Adeline's hat. So anyway, I put this on there. I really like it. Actually, the way I did this one, and I may do this actually for Adeline's hat too, it also had the strings on it, so I just threaded them through a 2-hole button on the inside and tied it. That way I can take it off for washing, you know? And also, I forget who, was it the Fat Squirrel or someone, I was watching someone's podcast and they talked about how that really keeps it secure to the top of the hat so it doesn't like get loose and, you know, kind of fall back with the strings or whatnot. So I love it. I'm really excited. I think this pom-pom is super fun. And I think I'm going to wear this over the holidays probably. So it looks like Christmas lights, doesn't it? Kind of, because the colors. Anyway, yay. This pattern, I actually haven't written it up yet. I just have notes. I'm probably going to release this sometime in January. So keep an eye out for that. I'll probably be calling for testers at some point. If you want to test knit, it's DK weight, and this is in our Biddleville DK, and it's Berry Stomp colorway. Okay, so that is all the finishes that I have to show you. Now I get to tell you about all the things I've been working on. All of the things for me. No gift knits. All for me. Moo-ha-ha-ha-ha. Can you tell I'm really enjoying it? Because I totally am. Okay. I'll tell you about the things that aren't socks first, because there's lots of socks. The first thing that I am working on is the Ashbrook shawl. This is a shawl by Tammy Gore. It's really pretty. It's a 3-color shawl, like asymmetrical. You know, you start at one end type of thing. So I've been working on this. Last time I showed it, I was not much farther than I am now. And there's a reason for that. I was all gung-ho. I was going to work on it the other night. And I did this really pretty, like, caramely spot. Well, the color is called Copper Penny. I'm using Old Soul Fiber Co. yarn. And this one is called Raspberry Truffle. This one is called Copper Penny. And then the last color that I'm going to use is called London Fog. So I was knitting on this shawl and I was all excited. And I got to a part, the next row is baubles. And I'm not a super, I've only knit baubles a few times. I don't know that I've ever been truly pleased with how they came out. So I'm not like an expert bauble knitter. And I was reading the directions and it just wasn't clear to me. And I tried to do what it was saying to do and I was stumped. So I need to go online and look up a tutorial for baubles and figure out how to do that before I can complete the next row of that shawl. So that's happening. Hopefully I will get to look at that later today. And once I figure that out, then I feel like the rest of the shawl is going to be a breeze. So the next project I have on the needles is my Tide Chart by Amy Miller. This yarn that I'm using is Queen City Yarn Biddleville DK in the October colorway. And I really love how it's turning out. I'm so in love with this sweater. So my mom made this sweater out of the Calories Don't Count on Your Birthday colorway, the one that I used for Adeline's hat. And it's gorgeous. It's actually in the guest room because I accidentally brought it home from Frolic instead of giving it back to her. Oops. I have been tempted to put it on and wear it so many times, and she wouldn't mind, but I just haven't done it. So I've been knitting on this sweater, and I was about 5.5 inches past the arm sleeve separation when I decided for some reason to look at the instructions for the pattern. Turns out, after 2 inches, you're supposed to start doing increases on either side of the side seam. And I hadn't done that. And by the time I was, at the 5.5 inches, I should have been getting ready to knit my 3rd increase round. So I considered just starting the increases there. But then I tried on my mom's sweater. And part of the reason why I want this sweater so bad is because of the fit. It's just so comfortable, and it's like a comfortable sweatshirt kind of sweater. And so I decided to just rip back. So I ripped back. I've done the first increase row, and I'm getting ready to do the second. I think I have 1 or 2 more rounds before I do the second increase row. But I'm working on that. I'm really enjoying it, except for the night that I had to rip it out. But I just pulled the needles out and ripped back, and I used a smaller needle to pick it up, and so that made it easier. Okay, so those are the only things besides my advent calendar that I'm working on that's not socks. So let's talk about the advent calendar. I have this in, look at my little crochet. It's upside down. Wah, wah. Look at this cute little crochet enamel pin with a crown. It's a heart, like a yarn ball heart with a crown on it. I got that at Black Mountain Yarn Shop. Anyway, this bag is a Suburban Stitcher bag, and I got it as part of a kit a year or 2 ago. Anyway, in this bag, appropriately, since it's a granny square bag, are some granny squares. That's right, folks. I can make a granny square. Let me get a lighter one so I can show you like what it looks like. Yay! So these are the pattern that I'm using. I think I only printed, well, it's a free pattern, so I can show it. It's called the Scrappy Granny, and it's by Nitty Natty, who does the Love and Stitches podcast, and I believe her designs are published under Love and Stitches. But her podcast is super cute. She's down in Texas, and she designs in knitting and crochet patterns, and I really enjoy her podcast. I've been watching it quite a bit lately, and I think she's doing a Vlogmas, but I haven't been watching the Vlogmas thing. So, anyway, I don't know, it froze up for a minute there. Hopefully all is well. Let's just see what's happening. I don't know. Hopefully it wasn't like, whoop, 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 but I'm gonna do the robot. Just kidding. I can't do the robot. So, I mentioned last time, I will be right back. I have to go get the advent calendar to show you. Okay, so I talked to you last time and said that I was getting ready to go and meet my friend Alexis, and we were exchanging advent calendars. And I thought I had done my advent calendar pretty cute. I got like a Christmas box and put it in there and put all the little balls in like little boxes. And I met her for lunch, and this is what she gave me. Isn't it so incredibly gorgeous? This is the prettiest advent calendar I've ever seen in my life. This is the first advent calendar I've ever had, but this is absolutely the prettiest advent calendar I have ever seen in my life. She made this. She does paper crafting too, and I've been blown away by cards that she's made, and last year she gave me, or this year, I'm on the last month of it, but this little like flip calendar that was really beautiful, but this is crazy gorgeous. So I'm really, like, this just bumps up my enjoyment level so much, because every day I get to pull one of these little drawers out, and inside, wrapped in tissue, is a little mini skein. So with my mini skeins from my advent calendar, what I've been doing is crocheting granny squares. So first thing in the morning after, well, the kids have been helping me, so the kids get to find the number on there because they're all out of order. They get to find the number and open the drawer and take out the mini skein, and they give it to me. And then while they're waiting for the bus, as I'm watching them wait for the bus, I wind it into a little ball. And then with my first cup of coffee of the day after they leave, I've been crocheting a granny square. And so I've been doing it every day. This is my one from today. This is crazy pretty. I don't know what the yarn is, who the dyer is or anything, but this is really pretty. It's like a purples with like browns. It's gorgeous. This is a purples with blacks. This is the first time I've ever been successful making granny squares. The pattern, Natalie's pattern is very well written, And I have a little experience with crochet. I have the Stitch and Bitch Happy Hooker book, and that has really good photo tutorials for how to do it. But this is the first time mine have actually really turned out well. So this one's fun and bright. So I'm really, really enjoying it. And I just have to say, I know last time I was talking about how I was excited about this and what I was planning on doing with making all the granny squares, and I said that I was thinking about patching all my blankets together and making one blanket out of all of them. Cozy Memories and barn raising, all that. And I just want to say thank you to everyone who commented and said that it was not an absolutely crazy idea. Because I think that might be the only way I'm going to have a finished blanket. And that still depends on putting it all together. But I'm really excited about the idea of putting it all together. Like patching them all together and just having it be like super scrap blanket. So making squares, I'm enjoying it. I made a few before. I guess I could show those. I made a few squares before. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, 6 squares before, because once I finished gift knitting, I was like, okay, I'm going to figure this out so that I'll be ready to start. So I have 6 done because today's the 6th, and I finished that last one with coffee this morning. This was the first one I did. I have no idea what the yarns are, even though these ones are from my stash. So there's the first one. And then this one is a Queen City yarn. This is Makeup Fish. Queen City yarn. I love how this one turned out. This is one of my favorite colors. I haven't dyed it in a while. This was one of the very first colors that I dyed for Queen City. This one, I don't know what it is, but it's really beautiful. That might be a scrap that my mom gave me. It's really pretty. This one is a Socks That Rock, and this was part of what was left after I knit my brother socks for Christmas. And this is also Socks That Rock. This skein is the whole entire reason that I joined the Socks That Rock sock club 5 years ago when my son was little. Janice and my friend Christy were in the club, and in January they got this skein and they were knitting socks out of it at Knitting Group, and I just fell in love. It was gorgeous. So I signed up for the club and got it. And then this one is, I have no idea, but it's also pretty. So those are the 6 that I did leading up to the Advent, leading up to starting on December 1st. So I did this one. I think I did this one on Thanksgiving. No, yeah, on Thanksgiving after I finished that hat. And I was like, oh, I really like this. This is fun. And then to make it so that I would not go in there and start opening drawers on my Advent calendar, I came upstairs and pulled out some of my minis and just started making some with minis. And I made one a day to kind of get into the groove for this month. And so I'm really enjoying it. It's a lot of fun. Okay, so now there's lots of socks. So let's see. My mom got me and surprised me with it when we went to the Carolina Fiber Flock. This is in a really cute little bag. This is by Mommy Sew. Little like Santa gnomes. Aren't they adorable? And then the inside fabric of this one's really pretty. It's ornaments. So I love it. It's really, really gorgeous. So super cute. But my mom surprised me and got me the Kirby Werby Christmas Vacation skein. There's 24 stripes. I think I'm 15 stripes in. And I'm not knitting 1 stripe a day on this one. I'm knitting a few, as many as I want to. Yesterday, I had to go holiday, Christmas gift shopping, and so I brought the sock with me, and I knit that much while I was out of the house. 3 stripes. I think one or two of those stripes were knit, actually, in the Chick-fil-A drive-thru line, because they're always long at lunchtime. But I think they're still kind of quick, but there was a lot of people waiting for Chick-fil-A. So I'm knitting on those. those are fun. And then the next socks I'm knitting now are the Cozy Knitter Advent Skeins. So I'm knitting one stripe a day on these. And I'm knitting like one stripe on one and one stripe on the other. These are 24 stripe. This is the thing, Advent Skein. And this is her Bliss, which is an 80-20 blend. I don't know what I don't think I have I do, for the Curvy Wurby. Please hold. I do. This is the Curvy Wurby tag. And this is her soft and squishy base. And 24 stripes, Christmas Vacation, Advent 2019. So that's that. Okay, so this one is from the Cozy Knitter, and this is a 24 stripe skein. I'm pulling from the center because I'm knitting both at the same time and I didn't want them to get all twisted up. So what I'm using is my Woodsy and Wild bag, this is the smaller one, which I think is called a sapling bag. But it has this like snap here on the inside. And so I'm just doing that to kind of keep my socks separated apart. And then before December, I knit the cuff in this, which is some leftover Woolmise sock. I think I used this colorway in the baby blanket. I think maybe Ryan's. I don't know if I used it in Colton's. I don't remember if there was blue in his blanket. I'm all twisted up. So yeah, so I'm knitting a stripe on each sock each day. On both these socks and the Curvy Wurby socks, I'm going to do a cut-in heel. Actually, the tutorial that made me good at cutting in afterthought heels was the Curvy Wurby. She's got a tutorial, and you cut across, and she gives tips on how to avoid the holes at the sides. So every time I pick up a sock, I like get it all ready to start knitting on it. So I will knit half a row on this while I talk to you about this heel. So she has a tutorial for a afterthought heel, a cut-in afterthought heel, where she gives tips on how to avoid the holes at the sides. Because when I first started doing afterthought heels, I would get like gaping holes at the sides, kind of like when you pick up stitches for an underarm seam and you have that big like triangle and you have to weave in your ends and close it all up and it doesn't really look that, neat. So anyway, I highly, highly recommend the Curvy Wurby afterthought heel tutorial. Yeah, ever since I've figured that out, I've been doing afterthought heels on pretty much all of my self-striping socks, a lot of them. So anyway, so that's that sock, those two. The next sock that I have is another Christmas sock. This is my Reindeer Games sock. This is in I think this bag, I think the maker is called Stitched by Sasha. I don't think there's a thing on it, but it's got these super cute snowmen on there. And the inside is fun. It's like these little Christmassy colored dots. And it totally matches the yarn perfectly, doesn't it? Doesn't it look super cute? So this yarn is Rock and String Creations. And it's the Jitterbug fingering, and it's Reindeer Games is the colorway. It's so pretty. Isn't it gorgeous? It's a self-striping, and I'm really enjoying it. So I used some Queen City that I had minis, some red. This is our jam session. It's coming through a little orange, it looks like on the screen, but it's really a red. A red. So I did the toe. And then I did use Judy's Magic Cast On and did increases out and to 68 stitches, and now I'm just doing stripes. I'm really enjoying these. I think these are really, really pretty. And these I'm actually knitting on my ChiaoGoo Interchangeables minis, the 2.25, US size 1 2.25 needle is what I'm knitting these socks, and also the other two pairs of socks I showed are on that size needle. But isn't this pretty? This dyer is the one, this is last year. I think I finished them. I was knitting them while I was doing the podcast. Janice had given me a skein for Christmas the year before last, I believe. And I knit socks from it. And anyway, I just really love it. But I think it's really cool how, it's like variegated within the stripes. I think that's really pretty. And it's bright and fun and very, very cheerful. I'm knitting on these when I go outside with the kids. So that's that. And then there's one more pair of socks on the needles, and I just cast these on. I don't know that I will knit on these until later in the month, but I was itching to cast them on. And this is a Regia design line, Arne and Carlos. The colorway is 03657. And when I put it in Ravelry, I think it said the colorway is called Summer Nights or something like that. But these colors don't scream Summer Nights to me. These colors look Christmassy or like flannel-y. So anyway, I'm pulling out of the center. And I knit the cuff on a 32-inch circular. I'm using size 3 needles. So I knit the cuff on a 32-inch circular, and then as soon as I get done with the cuff, I put it onto a 9-inch circular. These are going to be super quick socks. It's only 52 stitches, and they go so fast. So I'm excited. And this is, a self-patterning yarn. And I have a pair of DK weight socks that I made myself out of Regia, and I love them. They're the socks that I really gravitate towards on the weekends if we're just hanging in, if it's like not a nice day and we're just hanging in watching movies and stuff like that with the kids playing games. So I'm excited to make myself another pair of DK weight socks. I have 3 more pairs of Christmas socks with the yarn pulled. I have a lollipop ball. I have West Yorkshire Spinners skein of yarn that I got last year that I would like to cast on. And then from Simply Sock Yarn Company, their Post yarn, I have a super cute Christmas colorway that I wound up because that was in a hank, so I wound that one up. So those 3 are in waiting if any of these, if I finish and have time to knit more socks. I think socks are the perfect project to bring around with you to different holiday events. Everybody that I spend holidays with knows that I'm always knitting, so it's not like they don't think I'm bored or something because I'm knitting. They would probably think I was sick or something if I was not knitting. So I'll be taking socks with me. And because I'm working, what I'm doing is I'm doing my Advent square, my granny square in the morning, first thing. And then I'm doing my cozy knitter, like 1 stripe on each sock. And once those two projects, those, like I finish the square and I do 1 stripe, I put these away. And I'm really enjoying that about the Advent knitting. This is the first year that I've done any of that because usually I'm in full on hand knit gift mode where I'm knitting everything for everybody else and I'm just like, okay, how many hats can I finish today? Or whatever I need to do. Got to finish this sock, giving myself deadlines to be able to get everything done because I knit gifts for so many people. But I'm really enjoying Advent knitting this year. I'm really enjoying knitting on all things for me this year. But once I finish the granny square and the stripe on each of these socks, I put them down and then I don't even think about them until the next day, aside from being excited and not letting myself open another box on that Advent calendar. And so then I, pick up a pair of socks to knit right after lunch for a little bit if I have time, what I'm going to knit on while I wait for the kids to get off the bus. And so I'm just kind of spreading out the love, and it's making it really, really fun to knit on all these different projects. And, I've got 4 pairs of socks on the needles now. I'm going to cast on 3 more. Will I get 7 pairs of socks done this month? Probably not. But I'm sure going to enjoy trying. So yeah, I should have quite a few new pairs of socks to wear after the month of December. I'd really love to finish that sweater, my Tide Chart sweater, because I'd love to have that to wear over the holidays, because it's, pretty, and it's like a sweater, so it's more dressy than like a hoodie, right? But it's also the shape of that sweater, the way the increases are done. It's dressy but casual, really more casual. But that's if I'm not wearing leggings or whatever, then I'm dressed up, so that works for me. But also, I think it's gonna look good with leggings. And let's be real, over the holidays, leggings are necessary. Stretchy pants. I'm all for it. So I really want to finish that sweater too. And I'm working on the sweater in the evenings, the sweater or the shawl, once I figure out the baubles. But yeah, so I'm working on like all the little projects during the day, bigger projects in the evenings. Looking forward to getting all this stuff done and just enjoying not knitting on gifts. So I think that's like all the knitting that I have to talk about. And what else do I have? Oh, I wanted to thank everyone who shopped the Queen City Yarn holiday sale that we had over Thanksgiving. We had a sale for Black Friday and Small Business Saturday with a discount in the shop, and then Cyber Monday. And just thank you everyone who ordered yarn and Notion during those sales. I'm so glad that you got a good deal on that stuff, and I hope you really love it. If it hasn't gotten to you yet, it will be there very soon because we worked really hard to get everything shipped out. And yeah, we do still have some yarn in the shop. We've got, I didn't bring anything over to show today. Not prepared, but we have a lot of beautiful yarn in the shop. We still have some Notions, some of the Tuft Woolens hand balm, and the Little G enamel pins. Those things make great little stocking stuffers, or if you want to give something with a little gift card, something like that is really fun. And yeah, that's pretty much it. The holiday mini skeins are sold out, completely sold out in the shop, but we do still have some full skeins of some of the colors, not that many, but if you really would like a holiday skein of yarn, one of our holiday colorways, hop over to the shop at queencityyarn.com and scoop that up before somebody else does. And I think that's it. Until next time, I hope to record another episode before Christmas. So we'll see if that happens. It just all depends on time. I've got a lot of things coming up with the kids, with school. They've got a lot of little fun parties and little things like that I get to go to and see and spend time with them at. And then they're going to be out of school. So yeah, and hopefully I'll get another one in before the holidays. If not, I'll see you in the new year. If you want to see my tree, stay tuned because that is coming up next. And I will talk to you next time. Until then, happy knitting.